Good morning, everyone. It's your guy, Video James here to make some 2019 African Cup of Nations, some new predictions. As I had said in a previous video, um, my original predictions have changed, mostly because I had seen some international friendlies and using some stats. I don't really think that my original predictions really fit anymore. Just based off of what I've seen, I don't think that a good portion of the teams that I had originally predicted to go in certain spots are going to actually reach those spots. Most notably, we have matches like Algeria versus Burundi, 1-1. We had Tunisia versus Croatia 2-1, Gambia beating Morocco 1-0, and that Gambian team, that wasn't their big team because they weren't going on to a larger tournament. We also had a couple of surprising fixtures. Cote d'Ivoire, who I originally said would be second in their group during the group stages, has been dominating 3-1 against Comoro, 4-1 against, I believe it was Zambia yesterday. I'm going to double check that. Yes, 4-1 against Zambia, the former African champions from 2011. Cameroon, meanwhile, 2-1 against Zambia. They also had a draw recently. There was also this game from Mali that I saw, which impressed me, but I need to find it. Oh yes, Cameroon drew with Mali 1-1. And then Uganda beating Cote d'Ivoire 1-0. Ghana drawing with South Africa, no goals scored. Kenya drawing with DR Congo 1-1. Tanzania and Zimbabwe drawing. Morocco losing to Zambia 2-3. Yeah, that's just a string of defeats recently from the Moroccan national team. They've been playing a lot of tune-up fixtures as of late, and it's surprising because you'd expect, this team that's lauded for its defense would be, keeping themselves from. They would keep clean sheets when playing against teams like Gambia. Gambia does have a good player, but it's Gambia. Same with Zambia. So without further ado, I'm going to rehash some of my predictions. Originally for Group A, I said the teams would be Egypt, Zimbabwe, Uganda. Or no, I think I said Egypt, Uganda, Zimbabwe, DR Congo. I think I'm going to keep it the same there. I was very impressed by Uganda's win over Cote d'Ivoire. So Group A is going to stay the same. But I wouldn't be surprised if Uganda actually did better than Egypt, meaning Uganda, Egypt, Zimbabwe, DR Congo. Group B, I've been getting a lot of flack for originally predicting Nigeria coming in second, and I do have to say, maybe they're right, but I saw their friendly against Senegal, and while the defense did inspire confidence, it didn't really inspire confidence in the right way. I'm still going to have to keep it the original way I kept it, especially after that draw against Zimbabwe, too. So Guinea, Nigeria, Burundi. I've been very impressed by Burundi. They've been doing a great job. Group C, as I had said before, Senegal in first. Algeria, just for context, Algeria did have a match against Mali in which they won 3-2. And Kenya, in the meantime, has been getting a draw against DR Congo. Algeria drew with Burundi, but we also saw Kenya win against Madagascar. I don't know. Senegal first, Algeria second, Kenya third. That's still my prediction there. Group D. Now I want to put Ivory Coast in first. Originally I had Morocco in first. Now I want Cote d'Ivoire in first. Morocco, I don't even know if I should put them in second, really. I am confident in their abilities against teams like South Africa and Namibia, but I don't know. I'm putting Ivory Coast first, Morocco second, South Africa third. Group E. Tunisia has had a couple close calls, but they're doing okay. A lot better than I thought they would. Their defense has been very strong, and shout out to Wabi Kazri for, pulling the team together. But I am still confident in what I thought of Mali. I want Mali in first, Tunisia second, Mauritania third. Yeah, it's going to be the same way I said it last time. I don't really have much confidence in Angola, but you never know. Mauritania could slip up. A lot of people saw their run to the AFCON this year as a miracle run, and that miracle could end in the group stages. And since they've had no tune-ups, we really don't know what they're going to be capable of going in, so we'll find out. Group F. A lot of people were also upset at me with Cameroon prediction, saying Cameroon's great, what are you talking about? And I'm saying, and looking at their recent fixtures, you'd probably realize why I'm not too confident in Cameroon. Let's see here. We had Cameroon. Oh, I lost him. Cameroon barely inched out against Zambia compared to Cote d'Ivoire, who managed a 4-1 victory. Let's just look at Cameroon's most recent fixtures. This is not like an advertisement, but I have the One Football app sitting right in front of me on my computer just so I make sure, because I'm tired of making mistakes on easy things like names. But also the draw against Mali. I mean, I think they'll be able to take out Guinea-Bissau quite handily. I think Benin isn't a threat for them, but Ghana is the biggest threat. And a lot of people are saying Ghana aren't as good as they were in previous years. Sometimes I'd have to agree with you, but I don't know. I can't really sit here and say that. Oh, excuse me. It's early in the morning. I just woke up, but I wanted to get this predictions out before I got to work, and the actual tournament started tomorrow. Yeah, I'm more confident in Ghana than I am in Cameroon right now. The Black Stars are gonna go pretty deep in this tournament for me, and then I do still have the same third place teams qualifying from the groups B, C, D, E. So the runner-up of Group A would face the runner-up of Group C. For me, the runner-up of Group A was Uganda. The runner-up of Group C was Algeria. Just based off of what I've been seeing from Uganda, this is going to be a big one. I think Uganda's actually going to take down Algeria and surprise everybody. I know, that's a change from my original predictions video where I just said Algeria probably going to go to the quarterfinals without a doubt, but from what I've been seeing from Algeria, it's the same thing I've been saying for Paraguay for the Copa America. They're very good, but they're very old. So that's the kind of dynamic we're facing. Winner of Group D versus third place group. Which one? The third place group of Group E. So for me, that was Mauritania, and the winner of Group D was Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast taking down Mauritania, I think. I think that's a fair assumption. And so that's them going into the quarterfinals against a team that actually beat them very recently during a friendly. The winner of Group B against the third place group of... Yeah, the winner of Group B versus the third place group of Group C. Or no. The third place group of Group D. So for me, that was South Africa playing against... Where am I going? Yeah, that was South Africa playing against Guinea. I have more confidence in Guinea than I do South Africa. Guinea going to the quarterfinals. Versus the winner of Group F versus the runner-up of Group E. So for me, that was Ghana going up against Tunisia. I don't know. This match would be a lot harder to predict. Now that I've seen what I've seen, I'm not the most confident in Ghana, but at the same time, I am confident in Ghana. They did play against Kenya. They won 1-0, which is a very tight match. They also drew against South Africa, of which Tunisia would be beating in this instance. Yeah. Yeah. So that would be Ghana versus Guinea. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Or Ghana versus Tunisia. I'm probably gonna say it's so tough. I do want to say Ghana. But that match can go either way. Nope. Final call. My prediction is going to be Tunisia going into the quarterfinals to play against Guinea. The winner of Group E going up against the runner-up of Group D. I'm not going in depth on the teams like I did last time because last time you got my opinions. I'm really just going to make opinion changes from last time just to see, if I do have an opinion change, I'll tell you about it. So the winner of Group E, which was Mali for me, versus the runner-up of Group D, would be Morocco. Mali has a little bit of a grudge against the Moroccans because they're the ones that stopped them from qualifying for the World Cup. They were this close. And right now, Morocco is not impressing me. I am shocked, and I feel bad. I have a buddy named El Bouziaf, and he would probably smack me for making this prediction, but I think Mali's going to beat Morocco. After seeing their friendly matches, I know friendlies aren't the most, thought-provoking moments when it comes to tournaments, but after such a bad string from Morocco, you have to look at it and go, this team's not up to par. And it's the tune-up matches. These aren't friendlies that are just, during the international season, nobody really cares about them. It's just to show off some lesser-known players. No, these are real matches with the best teams they've got, and they can barely manage against each other. I'm going to put the winner of that match to be Mali to move on to the quarterfinals, beating Morocco. Now we have the winner of Group C versus the third place group. The third place group from Group B. So the winner of Group C for me was Senegal. The runner-up was Nigeria. The third place group, sorry. The third place group was Burundi. So yeah, I'm still confident in Burundi as a team. They did impress me a little bit. I'm still putting Senegal in first, taking down Burundi. And let's just move on to the next match. Runner-up of Group B versus the runner-up of Group F. So the runner-up of Group F for me was Cameroon, and the runner-up of Group B was Nigeria. I'm also not that confident in Nigeria. As I have said before, as much as I love Musa's one of my favorite African players. And, you know, they just lost to Senegal 1-0. And I know I have them winning the whole tournament, Senegal. But that's a pretty rough score if you examine what happened during the match. I do not think Cameroon is the team to beat this year. I really don't. I think Nigeria is going to the quarterfinals, and then they'll be facing the winner of Group A versus the third place group of Group C. So that would be Egypt versus what was for me Kenya. I can see Egypt taking down Kenya pretty handily, but if we look at recent fixtures, Egypt had played against Guinea, winning 3-1. That game featured not the main team. I mean, it did feature the main team, but no goals from Mo Salah. And it's just Kenya would really be fighting an uphill battle. So I see Egypt winning. Now on to the quarterfinals. We have Uganda versus what for me was Cote d'Ivoire. I think Cote d'Ivoire probably is going to make it through this. If they don't, I'd be surprised, it would be a shock, but it wouldn't be too big of a surprise. Uganda's just doing really well all of a sudden. So I could see Uganda going into the semifinals, but for the sake of this video, for the sake of this prediction, I'm going to say Ivory Coast, moving on to the semifinals. For the other quarterfinal team, I think it was Guinea. Oh, God. Sometimes I get lost reading these, so I hope you don't mind me being like this. The third place group was... That was... Okay. So we have Guinea playing against... Yeah, we have Guinea playing against Ghana. That was my final prediction. Or no, Guinea playing against Tunisia. Was Guinea against Ghana. I see Ghana coming through here. Keita is really not fit for play. If he does end up being fit for play by the quarterfinals, that would be amazing, but I don't think it would be enough. I'm seeing Ghana going into the semifinals. That's just where I'm going with that. And then we have the quarterfinals in the Suez. So for me, that was Mali going up against Senegal. As much as I'd love to see Mali go into the finals, I'm going to have to say Senegal are going to win this match. Again, I encourage all of you to start watching Mali a bit more. Their youth team is looking incredible, which means we have a lot of players coming in come next World Cup qualifying. I think Mali are going to make their debut at the next World Cup just because of how strong their offense is going to be. Their defense needs to get tuned up, however. They could probably hire Reynad because I don't think after this tournament they're really going to come through with... I don't think after this tournament they're going to keep Reynad. He tried his best at the World Cup. He did an excellent showing against 3 very strong teams, but lately, and if my predictions go the way I think they're going to go, I think Reynad is probably going to have to start finding employment elsewhere. Maybe that'll be in Mali. So, our final quarterfinal match, I have Nigeria going against Egypt. I'm starting to agree. I don't think Egypt are going to make it to the semifinals necessarily. So I'm going to concede to my viewers from my other AFCON video, which is my most popular video on this channel, and I'm pleasantly surprised by that. Yeah, I'm going to see Nigeria going into the semifinals. So that has Cote d'Ivoire versus Ghana. And that has Nigeria versus Senegal. Cote d'Ivoire versus Ghana. I'm going to go for Cote d'Ivoire for this one. I think they're trying to make the run that they've been making for the past couple of AFCONs, where they come in and they shock everybody, then they go home. We see it a lot, where they're champions, then they hit runners-up, or they reach the quarterfinals, or they reach the semifinals. Just to put it in perspective, in 2012, they had played against Zambia. They came runners-up, and that was after a grueling penalty kick out. They were champions in 2015, but after that they exited in the group stage, which is that champion's curse that everyone talks about when it comes to AFCON. They were 4th place in 2008. They were runners-up in 2006. They've got such a good team. And if we look at their players, well, there's Maxwell Cornet, the forward. We actually have a player that plays in a Qatari league, Wilfred Bony, in Al Arabi. He's a forward, but he's a substitute. Roger Saleh. There's Jonathan Kojia, Sere Die, and let's not forget Koulibaly. These are some pretty decent players, and I don't know. I just personally think when it comes to them going up against Ghana, it was Ghana, right? Let's double check. Yeah, it should be them up against Ghana, unless I'm going crazy and my brain is forgetting something. Yeah, it would be them against Ghana. I'm seeing Cote d'Ivoire go into the finals. I'm sorry, I'm fried. Early morning. And for the other semifinal, we have Senegal versus Nigeria. I'm going to stick to my guns and say Senegal beats Nigeria. I do think Senegal right now are the better African side, but that does put Nigeria in the 3rd place playoff against Ghana. We'll see how that goes. And before I get into the final match, 3rd place playoff between Nigeria and Ghana, that's probably one of the toughest matches to predict, aside from what I was trying to predict with Tunisia earlier. I am probably going to put Nigeria 3rd, Ghana 4th. I just think the Nigerian players are just that much better right now. I think Nigeria can pull it off, though it's all also a matter of if they even care enough at that point to go for 3rd place. But we'll see. And for the final, because 3rd place is always a very difficult match to call. But for the winner of the 2019 edition of AFCON, I'm going to say Senegal beats Cote d'Ivoire 2-1, maybe 2-2 on penalties. But that would be surprising if they went for penalties again in a final. But Senegal are my favorite to win. To me, they are hands down the best team. And I've been pleasantly shocked by Tunisia really showing off what they're capable of. I have been unpleasantly surprised by Morocco's failures as of late, and I hope that it's just a bad stint. I've been very impressed by Uganda, enough so to say that they're going to beat Algeria and move on to the quarterfinals. And I hope Uganda, along with Mali, are going to make their debuts at the 2022 edition of the World Cup. To me, later this year, we're going to see the Club World Cup in Qatar, which, to me, I mean, just a little opinion after my AFCON predictions. To me, I'm pulling it up right now just to make sure I don't mess up the numbers. So, basically, what's a bit sad about the Club World Cup, it's a very... I prefer the African Confederation, or not the African, the FIFA Confederations Cup. I like seeing the champions of all the confederations coming together for one big tournament. You know, usually that means the OFC guy gets squashed. It's sad, but it's true. We see Argentina win a lot. We'd see mostly the CONMEBOL team win quite more often than not. But I was really excited for the 2021 Confederations Cup. I was really excited because we have a lot of teams that are coming out of the woodworks that we weren't expecting. Oh, it was Brazil. Brazil had won the Confederations Cup so many times. Sorry. 4 times, by the way. Argentina had won the first one. With Saudi Arabia coming in back when it was still the King Fahd Cup. It was Saudi Arabia came in second, but I don't know. I always loved that competition. I was really excited because they were originally planning to take away the 2021 Confederations Cup from Qatar, which meant that they wouldn't host, therefore they wouldn't automatically compete for the Confederations Cup, and it was all because of heat. It was all because of the desert heat. And then they won the Asian Cup emphatically and qualified anyways back before they pulled it. And then I was going, oh, and we're going to figure out who all these champions are, you know, in the coming weeks. I don't think... When's the next AFCON? Next AFCON would have been in 2021, but it might have been before the 2021 Confederations Cup, so who knows who would have been the champion there. We would have had a different CONMEBOL champion, but because we have the next Copa America next year, but we had a lot riding on this Confederations Cup, a lot of new exciting faces, and sadly it seems like we weren't going to get a single one of them. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. I'll try to watch the Club World Cup. We will be seeing some really good teams come through. Liverpool comes to mind because they won the Champions League. Whoever wins the Copa Libertadores in November. There's Monterrey, which could prove like, hey, stop overlooking Mexican football. It's really good, which I'd be very happy if they do manage. Then we'd have to get the Asian Champions League out of the way. We'd have to get the African Champions League out of the way. How is the AFC Champions League going? It's not something that to be honest, I really watch. Right now, we have yet to enter the round of 16. We're still figuring all that out, I guess. And then we have Al Sadd coming through, which, even though they are the winners of the Qatar Stars League, aren't my favorite club to compete. I would have preferred Al Rayyan. A New Caledonian team, Hang Enye Sport. I'm sorry, I don't speak French. Je ne parle pas français. But that is surprising that they came out on top above a New Zealand club. Point is, I don't know. It's not something that I personally am excited for. I think it would have been, an expanded Club World Cup would have been nice. If anything, bringing up to 12 teams, maybe 16 teams. But it seems like they're just going to keep it at 7 teams, which is odd, which means that 2 teams have to play an extra fixture, that being Al Sadd and Hangzhou Sport, the hosts and the OFC team, which is the playoff to get into the quarterfinals. But we'll see where things go. This could be a chance for Qataris to prove that their clubs are worth investing in, and after seeing their team at the Asian Cup and at the Copa America right now, who just lost to Colombia 1-0 last minute. I'm not going to say it was a good game, but it reminded me of Iceland and Argentina. I'll get into that later once I talk about my post-round 2 predictions for Copa America, or post-round 2 analysis. And I still think Qatar is going to make it in second place, which you guys are going to call me crazy because they have 1 point and they're playing against Argentina, but I really truly do believe that they're going to beat Argentina. I'm going to get into it later. But sorry for extending the video a bit longer than it should have been. It should have ended with the predictions for AFCON, but I thought I might as well talk a little bit. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Video James in his early morning state, signing off.